So again, 1, 2, and 3 is for that recirc thing I told you about. You set your timer with the dip switches based on the timer that you want. The dip switch should be in different configurations. 4 and 5 is reserved, and 6, 7, and 8 is how you number your M units. Unit number 1, unit number 2, unit number 3. Well, one more thing about the temperature control. If you happen to put this in an apartment building, let's say, they don't want people messing with the temperature, you can change the configuration of the dip switches and make it so they can't put it above that temperature. So like if I took number 7 and turned it off and left number 6 on, you could put it up to 120, but you couldn't put it past 120 no matter what you did to the button. And you can set every one of those temperatures up to 140 degrees so it can't go past that or won't come off that temperature, which is kind of a neat feature. So, yes, you can keep it so they can't change it. And remember, we store water in that tank only up to 135 degrees. Once we get to 140 and above, the temperature coming out of the tank is the same temperature that's coming out of the machine. We don't keep stacking it. We do that on purpose so we don't get close to 194 degrees. But up to 135 degrees, it'll keep a 20% hotter water in the tank itself. And the last one, number 1 is your post-purge. It'll always be on. Number 1 means that you have a 90-second post-purge at a low RPM. If you shut it off, you'd have a 60-second post-purge at a higher RPM. We'll do that on some commercial applications, or some bigger houses applications, because the tank will not recover itself until the post-purge is done. So sometimes you want that lower post-purge. We changed that because in the southern part of the country, a lot of these are in attics above people's bedrooms, and the fans were noisy. So they went to the 90-second post-purge at lower RPM to take care of that. Number 2 is only for our 145 machines. Anything with a G12 on the serial number, the new machines, the 145s, when we put the new V6 heat exchanger in there, we had to change the fan speed a little bit. So number 2 will be on, but only on the 145 machine. Number 3 is for the low fire. We already talked about that. And number 4 is used, but it's only for elevations above 4,000 feet. And I don't think you guys have to worry about that here. Okay. All right, that's the pump control I was talking about. So there's your plug, right? This thing right there. So you put it through there, plug it in. And now they used to be 20, 40, 60, 90, and now it's 5, 10, 15, 20. And it totally thinks differently as far as the logic inside the machine. We've had no complaints since we had this new board come out with the IPC control. It works really well. Okay? We won't go over this because we'll go over this stuff when we go through the machine. I will show you a couple changes we've made. Again, that's our new burner with the stainless steel cover and the drain in it. We've now moved our flow switch. The flow switch used to be on top of the machine coming out of the hot side. It's down on the cold side before it gets hot. We did it on purpose. Should have done that a while ago. Think about that. You don't get calcification in water until you heat it. So even if you're marginally hard, why have this flow switch in the hot side? We can get any of the white powder buildup inside of it.
When was that?
Just recently. All the ones Bill has in stock now will have the new flow switch on the side. If you have one that's having particular problems, we don't have the kit yet, but within the next month we're going to have a retrofit kit. If somebody wanted to move it from the hot side to the cold side, we have a kit we can send you, and it'll go. You can move it to the cold side at that point in time. Same flow switch, none of that has changed. A couple other things they've changed is all these fittings, and you'll see them when we pull them out of these machines. These are all O-ring fittings. They have one O-ring, and the male part goes into a female, and they're held on the clip. We've changed all those. It used to be one O-ring. Now we've made them bigger and 2 O-rings. We've made redundancies inside that valve. Didn't have a lot of failures of the O-rings, but we had a few. So they actually made all those fittings bigger now with double O-rings for double protection against water coming out of that machine. All right. Front display, real quick. Back cover of the machine always has all the information you need in the back cover. All your error codes in the back cover, your wiring schematic, and how to navigate the front display, because the front display tells you a ton of information. Yes?